With the finale of the amazing digital circus on its way, I've been rewatching the entire series. When episode 5 released, it became my favorite in the entire show, so go check out the last video if you want the details. So naturally, I was really hyped for episode 6, more so than I was for episode 2, so let's revisit it in today's video. Be sure to check out the rest of the videos in this series.
Shit. Can you toss that back up here?
What are you doing up there?
I'm hiding from Kane. I think I overheard him talking to Bubble about an in-house adventure, and I'm not gonna be part of it.
Good for you, Zubo.
Kane's been checking up on my room lately. When I don't answer, he just starts singing Daisy Bell in front of my door. It's creepy.
I think the reference there, and I mentioned this when I first reacted to this video, I think it was 1968, maybe earlier, there was a computer that sung Daisy Bell. It was the first ever computer to sing. And Zubal's not wrong, it is creepy. I think that's a reference to that, since obviously Kane is an AI, so what's the first song that would come to his mind?
Does he really do that?
I don't know. Let's ask him. Hey, Kane!
You fucking asshole!
Yes, Jax?
Look, it's Zubal.
You!
Ah, there you are. Now I don't have to do the snap summon thing. And I'm glad I found you. We need even numbers, cause today's adventure is a team adventure. Meet you guys up at the stage in, let's say, 5.7 minutes.
Good, 5.7.
Great.
Seeing you all play bat-ball a few days ago really got me thinking. We should do our own sporting event, but with cool, new sports invented by yours truly.
Help me, Kane.
I think this next gag is my favorite digital circus gag. I quote this all the time, it's so funny.
In the Kane Leagues, we have the 400-meter vertical skedaddle, bisection boogie egg ball, lateral hijinks, orange sport, ball run, walk ball, run walk, and ball ball.
No, I'm not gonna be on a team with that one.
Zubal, why does all you do is complaining?
You really wanna know what I want?
Oh no.
I want the ability to have sex.
Is that uncensored on Netflix?
Are we finally
I might be
having
totally
this
wrong about that, but I'm pretty
conversation?
sure it is.
Oh, hi Zubal.
People theorized that that ding there meant that Kane actually fulfilled the request. I mean, I reckon he did in episode 9 since he's gone, which means the characters can do whatever they want. Wait a minute, if they can conjure things up, does that mean that they can conjure genitalia for themselves?
Teamwork is essential to making the dream work.
Kane's head is getting bigger every episode.
Fucks everything all the time.
You are in a mood today, aren't you?
Now.
And why does
you know what
Jax
they say
want to
about
fuck
assuming?
Zubal?
It makes an ass out of you and Ming.
Ming?
Did Kane just say ass?
I watched this clip before the episode came out,
Hi.
and I was so happy when it actually
really
happened.
don't
It's evident now that there's quite a bit of tension between you all. So maybe what we actually need to do are trust exercises.
This is the thing though, Kane does try really, really hard. And that's why I was so surprised that he became evil. And not only that, I thought that his tantrum in episode 8 was a little bit valid, but I'll explain that when we actually get to episode 8. I just feel so sorry for him because I really wish he had the ability to understand us fucked up, complicated, dumbass humans.
Character A will take the gun into the private room and empty it out of all its ammunition, then come out and give it to Character B. Character B will then take the gun and shoot themselves in the head, trusting that Character A emptied it in the private room. Character A will also have to trust that Character B won't turn the gun on them, so everyone is incentivized to follow the rules and trust each other.
Sounds a little convoluted.
You look convoluted! Anyway, Jax, why don't you start?
With him?
Wait, what am I doing? I wasn't paying attention.
There's so much foreshadowing to that too. Again, really subtle and quick, that Kane actually can control their minds. Like Jax kind of realized it in the last episode. There was a bit I cut out in my video. And then there's so many other moments that you could point to. And that's something I keep going on about with this show, is that when it's developing plot, it does it in such a quick, subtle way. And I like that. I like it when things kind of move on quickly and the audience is kind of left to build on what might happen. It's why I found the pilot so interesting.
Huh?
Or, yeah, we could all just shoot each other. Here, have guns. I don't care anymore.
I will admit, I did like the idea of that trust exercise. I would have actually liked to see the characters do that, but thinking of it in retrospect, I don't think a full episode of just this would be very entertaining. I'm still just so happy that we got Digital Circus Fortnite.
It's just a little aimless.
Use the sights.
Kane!
Ugh, fine! We're bringing teams back. Pair up in teams of 2, you all get 3 lives, last team surviving is the winner. Happy?
Not really.
Come on, Zooble, you gotta enjoy things a little bit.
Come on, Sadie. You're coming with me.
I'm actually gonna be on a team with Zooble.
What? No, you're not. We've been together for every team adventure in the past.
Guess times are changing, bunny boy.
I really don't want Kinger to get stuck with Jax.
See, I don't know what the problem is there, because Kinger and Jax would make a fantastic duo, because Jax can't bully Kinger. He doesn't get any fun out of that, because Kinger's cuckoo. And we saw that when Kinger teamed up with Ragatha, he was a monster with that gun.
I'll be on Jax's team.
Well, look who it is. You sure you can handle me in all my glory?
Stop it.
I've been through worse.
Oh god, I just realized something else. Jax's fan art is already bad enough. I mean, all the fan art with all these characters is bad enough, but if he becomes like a Bond villain in episode 9, oh Jesus Christ. But I don't think that would be a bad thing for Gooseworks, because she got what she wanted. Oh, Kinger!
Huh? Oh, wait, what? That counted?
Kane?
What? Oh, yeah.
Hey, what happened to that awards
Go
show
find
you
them,
need to
champs.
plan, Kane?
We need to find the Tommy gun! Wait, Kane, I'm missing a life!
There's no time!
Oh,
It'll be my pleasure murdering all of you.
Have fun, guys!
Stop doing that, Pomni.
You're so
You're
lame.
gonna get cancelled. Alright, now here's the cool part. Going back to what I said before about the whole subtle plot development, that's another scene. It's just a very, very quick moment, but it already gets me super duper excited for what's gonna happen next, because that has just revealed that the exit things, whatever Pomni went through in episode 1, still has significance. Kane is still worrying over it. And then of course we had the whole thing with the mannequin in the last few episodes, as well as figuring out multiple times that Kane can actually control the minds of the humans. But not only that, a few separate things, like the fact that the characters can actually make things the same as Kane, which we are about to have confirmed right now.
Now, I would bet our biggest concerns would be Jax and Zooble. They're the youngest, so they probably still have some youthful fighting
Bro,
spirit.
Kinger uses strategy.
man, I'm still missing a heart. This isn't fair.
Huh? Oh, I got just the thing. Here, take this.
Going back to his wife, the thing with his wife, she made him like bugs. That's why he summoned a bug.
I made it up.
So what I thought this was originally revealing is that Kinger has admin privileges, like Kane, but because he's gone insane, he just kind of lost the full capability with it. But then episode 8 said that no, they all have like admin privileges, basically, which I also think is a cool idea. To be honest, I like that even better than if it was just Kinger that had the ability to conjure.
So, who are you gonna kill first, Pom Pom?
I'll just find guns for you, and you can do all the violent stuff.
You know none of this is real, right? The game today is literally to shoot each other. So what's the point in taking this moral high ground?
They're my friends. I don't really want to hurt them.
Look, I know what it's like. One day you're somebody in the real world doing important things, and then the next you're just a weird little cartoon jester. Whether we like it or not, all we are now is a bunch of cartoon characters.
All right, let me elaborate a little bit on why I feel I relate to Jax. Now, I agree with his philosophy of not treating this fake world as if it's something real. Like, worrying about our human problems in this place just seems a bit silly when we had all the time to do that in our previous lives. And just letting loose seems like the best way of going about things in this place. We see Pomni just resort to it in this episode, and even Gangle does the same for a brief period. So, in actuality, Jax isn't wrong about having the freedom that he has, and that goes for everyone else too. However, I would not take it to the degree that he has taken it, because even though I agree with his initial ideology, I think that Jax pushes it way too hard. Because the reality is that people still do have their personal struggles when they enter this place. So even though I might have learnt to cope in the circus myself, I also want to allow that opportunity for the others, but they need to do it in their own way. And it gets even worse when he then tries to turn this into an actual theory on how the circus functions.
We're still people, though, right?
I thought we were at first, but as time goes on, we just end up falling into our archetypes, become part of the machine. I add a key dynamic. I see how far I can push things, I screw with people, and I break the fourth wall. You wanna know why? It's 'cause it's funny. I do everything 'cause it's funny. 'Cause I'm the funny one. Ragatha's the cheerful one, Gangle's the sad one, Kinger's the crazy one, Zubal's the grumpy one, and you are the one who hasn't figured that out yet. We all just became archetypes. I at least have the self-awareness to choose who I am.
I feel that with Kothmo and Ribbit being around, this would seem a little bit more fair, because now we have a group of people who can embrace this insanity together and play off of each other, and it probably wouldn't have been so hard on the other circus members who were not on board with this idea. But we'll get back on that topic and talk about how Jax now has to deal with his own personal issues. Worm Kinger.
Looks like we've located the king and the ragdoll.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, let's
The
get him!
facial expressions are the best.
I know exactly what you're doing with Pomni, and it'll never work.
Huh?
Eh.
You know, getting close with Pomni. To corrupt her. Wait, no, wait.
I like how it's 2D animated too.
Wow, I didn't actually think that'd work.
Do you think Jax is gonna be mad that I didn't team up with him?
I wouldn't worry about him right now. It's all just a game in the end.
It's Jax, though. He probably wants revenge, and he's gonna make it painful.
Hey, you deserve better than thinking about him when he's not even here. You're not his toy.
It sometimes doesn't feel that way. How are you supposed to like the part of yourself that just makes you worse than everyone else?
'Cause it exists. It's a part of you that's real. And the only you that you should care about is the real you. You have to choose to love yourself, even if it doesn't make sense. It's not natural, it's intentional.
This scene speaks to me the most out of any scene in the show, because this is basically what I've been saying for this entire retrospective. I said it in episode 4 that Gangle doesn't need to worry about having to change by putting on a mask, and just like Zubal said there, she has to choose to love herself. Zubal, Gangle, Ragatha, they all go through problems of self-acceptance. Each of them need to learn to love themselves first before they can start worrying about each other. I reckon Jax has already kind of gone through that process of learning to accept himself, but he takes it way too far. And that's why I still relate to Gangle a little bit, because she said that line, how are you supposed to like the part of yourself that just makes you worse from everyone else? Yeah, that's how I used to feel all the time. I used to think that just being me just made me worse. Someone who's annoying, someone who's no good to have connections with people. And I just had to learn myself that I have to make the choice. I've got to stop convincing myself that I have to change and be different. And then Zubal said that line. It's not natural, it's intentional. That is so true. And I feel like these are all themes that bounce around with all of these characters, which I've never really thought about before. I used to think that the characters' struggles were a little bit more individual, which they kind of are, but in a different sense, I feel like that all of their struggles are the same too. I think the thing that makes them different is the way they cope with their struggles. You know, like obviously Gangle's mask gimmick, Ragatha putting on her persona, and same with Jax putting on his persona, and Zubul feeling like they have to change all the time. And that's why I also think that this doesn't all just relate to me, it relates to all of us. Because we all go through different struggles like this in a sense. They might come in different forms, in different names that we might make up for them, but in the bigger picture, they're all just the same problem. It's just self-acceptance. You've got to learn to do it. Some of us might learn faster than others, but I think that's just the natural order for the human psyche.
Whatever happens, I've got your back if you've got mine.
Yeah. Now let's go kill Pomni and Jax.
Why are you afraid of corn?
I don't know, it's got a bunch of little pods on it. Makes my skin crawl.
I have a tiny bit of trypnophobia. Not for everything, but when I do see something that falls into that category, I always get a little bit of that feeling, whether it's like weird patterns, bumps, or holes. Whew.
We still need to find out where Nutso went before we can rest easy.
Best Kinga joke.
I'm right behind you, aren't I?
I love how his hands are above his head too. Oh, the show's sense of humor is just too good. It's just everything that I want.
Whoops, sorry.
I can't believe you could shoot your own teammates. That's sick. That's like an old Fortnite duos where you could actually down your own teammate.
I killed my teammate. Oh my god.
High five!
Yeah!
Ah, what a game. Who knew Pomni could be such a sharpshooter? These adventures, huh? And look, even though we lost, at least we gave it our all, right? You feel...
So, before we move on to this scene, with Kinga's whole lucid thing, I like how the show sort of cleared up that it takes a while for him to actually become sane. He can't just immediately enter a dark area and boom, he's sane right then and there. It takes a little bit. We saw that in episode 3 after ages of being stuck in dark rooms and being in pitch black. Same with episode 8, they had to wait a while with him wearing the bucket before he became sane. But then that begs the question, how did he immediately become sane right here? Well, remember in episode 3 where the reason he has this whole thing with darkness is because it takes him back to his wife. Now that we know in episode 8 that Ragatha was the first human to show up since his wife abstracted, maybe because Ragatha is the one there with him, it made him become more sane even quicker. Just like how in episode 2, when he had the bucket on his head and he was talking to Ragatha, he also became sane a little bit more quicker then, because it was Ragatha who was talking to him. For example, if it was like Pomni in the room with him here, then I think it would have taken him a really long time again to come round. But because it's Ragatha, it just comes round to him immediately because he has such a strong connection with her. Kind of like a daughter connection in a way.
I think I might have failed Pomni. Just like I failed
But that's
Jax.
the problem, Ragatha. You didn't fail Pomni or
Tried too hard to
Jax.
get on their good side, and then I just end up pushing them away. And then they end up hating me.
Well, I don't think anyone in here hates you.
Jax does! Gangle and Zubul don't ever talk to me, and Pomni probably won't after today either.
See, and that's just the thing there. She is kind of right about Jax, but again, that's Jax's problem. That's not her fault. There are always going to be people out there who are not really going to connect with you in a way. That's just normal. But then, when she mentions Gangle and Zubul don't hate her. It's just they're dealing with problems of their own. Gangle and Zubul have only just created a friendship with each other. Before then, they were also both kind of left out from the rest of the cast. And that thought with Pomni not wanting to talk to her after today, I said this last episode, she's just making that up. because, yeah, I know Pomni was acting all evil with Jax and shooting her, but I said it before, she was just playing the game, and that's fine. It's fine to just kind of lose all sense of reality. You're in the digital circus, it doesn't matter. King is about to mention it here, you don't have to beat yourself up over it. Pomni doesn't hate you just because she shot you with a pistol. That sounds really bad now that I say it like that. But she's just got to stop putting all these ideas in her head, and then she's got to stop trying even harder because of that.
Maybe you just needed a break. It sounds to me like you put a lot of pressure on yourself to be there for everyone, and when you're not, you beat yourself up for it. You said you failed Pomni. Why do you feel that way?
I don't know. I feel like every day we're drifting further apart. Like she's seen through all my tricks and doesn't trust me anymore. Before I know it, she'll be a different person. One who doesn't even want me around.
That's not that she sees through all your tricks and doesn't trust you. That's just natural. People come and go. Sometimes they stick around and stay friends with you. Sometimes they just move on. That's just a normal part of life. And naturally, you'll reconcile with people or you'll make new friends. You just have to not worry about it and overthink it so much. Going back to myself, I felt the exact same way. I thought that, you know, when people no longer wanted to be friends with me and never really talked to me as much as they used to, it was because I had annoyed them to the point where they didn't want to. And maybe that's true, but I won't go there. It's just that, but no, you gotta take them into consideration too. You know, just like Ragatha wanted him, like King has said, maybe she just needed a break. Sometimes people just want a break. Not everyone has to be there for everyone all the time. It kind of comes and goes in phases.
The way I see it, relationships are two-sided.
Exactly.
And sometimes
just like I said,
it doesn't make sense to do all the heavy lifting when the other isn't in the mood. We all go through and deal with things differently, and sometimes you just need to let people do things their own way. As long as you're still there when they need you. Giving someone space should never be the same as giving up on them.
I don't even know what I want. I just want everyone to be happy. And I don't want people to hate me.
Do you hate yourself? I hated myself. I couldn't help but hate myself for the things I thought I was responsible for.
I spoke about this in episode 3.
I thought I'd lost everything.
Yeah, because
But then
he thinks that because he created Cain, he's responsible for his wife abstracting. Because if he didn't create Cain, the circus wouldn't exist and his wife wouldn't be in the circus.
you showed up. And my outlook
See?
just
That's exactly what I'm saying. That's why I think
changed.
he became sane so fast in this scene.
ways to show you care without ruining yourself over it. You need to look out for yourself in all this, too.
Exactly.
I don't
Oh my
get
god,
it. So
I'm just
often nothing
repeating
makes
everything
any
that the
sense,
episode
but I have
says.
Breathtaking! The committee's gonna love that.
Are they still following us?
Are you still following us?
Yeah, we're still following you.
Where else would we be?
They're still following us.
All right, this is a long one. We're gonna have to run.
My favorite
Let's go.
run is Gangle's. That running animation is hilarious.
Daisy, Daisy, give me your hand.
I can get him.
Wait!
Trust me, partner, I got this.
I love it when the score goes video gamey like this. They did it in episode 8. Da, da, da.
total bullshit. Ow! Well, shit, man. Guess that's the end of that. See you on the flip side.
Yeah, the 4 flip sides. Boom.
Oh, we make such a good team.
Well, to be fair, our competition wasn't anything crazy.
Yeah, true. I suppose this is the part where one of us betrays the other.
Oh, yeah, you can betray me.
So remember when I said that Jax, Kaufmo, and Ribbit were like a trio of comedic relief, and it would have made it a little more balanced for the other circus members? It feels like back then, Jax would have been fine amongst the cast, but now that the only people left for him to interact with are the ones who understandably don't buy into his nature, he's painted himself as being much worse than he actually is. And it's been well established that Jax really doesn't care about what people think of him, which I think is just part of who he is. In real life, I don't think he was an all-out abuser, because I'm not trying to obligate abuse, but I just think he was the kind of guy who just really, really didn't mind if people disliked him for who he was or whatever. And just being in the circus, it just pushes that to an extreme. Kind of like how most cartoons push things to an extreme. Because in a cartoon, it's called slapstick. In real life, it's called abuse. So I think you get what I mean. But under that, there is now a very clear issue of his own, which he is now trying to cover up. Not to everyone else, but to himself.
Oh, I thought this was gonna be a mutual thing.
Nah, go on, do it.
I don't really want to.
Lame! Come on, I thought you were cool.
We could just be winners as a team.
We're not a team, come on.
What do you mean? Yes, we are.
Delusional.
Weren't we kind of bonding over being chaotic evil together?
I was merely entertaining you because I thought it was funny.
If I shoot you right now, are we still gonna be friends afterwards?
We were never friends.
You're not gonna look me in the eye and tell me nothing we've been doing together meant anything to you, because I know that's not true.
By constantly bringing himself back into this state that he wants to be in, Jax is covering up his painful feelings of grief. When he forces himself to put on this persona, I don't think he's trying to be something he's not. He's still being a version of himself, except he keeps pushing it to a level where he has to remain in this state instead of showing any other emotion of his own.
Are you coming on to me? Yeah, that's what everybody wants. A straight couple.
I also find the scene hella cringe because it's so on brand with the kind of masking shit that I would do when I was an edgy teen. There's no rational thought going into it. His brain is just doing it. It's like an automatic response. It's how he copes, which he's then going to reflect on later and realize how dumb it really was.
Have you ever thought that this might be what causes people to abstract in the first place?
Oh my god! Are you seriously gonna blame me for something that everybody else did too? You didn't even know him! You don't even know what people are like before they abstract. They are not pleasant to be around. Like at all! You...
That reaction was justified, but he's still making a fool out of himself because he's the one causing it to be brought onto himself. Pomni wouldn't have said something that malicious if he wasn't acting like such a douche.
Whew, man. This is all sorts of embarrassing, huh?
For you, bud. But once again, he's trying to cover it up by flipping it on Pomni and making out that she's the one embarrassing herself.
What would you do if I abstracted tomorrow?
I'd move on. And probably forget about you.
That's also a pretty justified notion. But the problem is that he's lying to himself because this is the part of him that he wants to completely abandon. He only wants to be the part of himself that can still be cool and not worry about anything, but as soon as something real steps in, he literally wants nothing to do with it. Which I totally get, that's fine, but at the same time, you just need to do what feels natural to yourself. I know in this circus you don't want to feel your real human emotion because that seems weird, but the reality is that's just how it works. So stop trying to shun anything real about yourself and just learn that sometimes there are moments where you are allowed to act like this, but also moments where you're allowed to act like this. It doesn't have to be definitively one or the other. But then here's the issue with everything that I'm saying. This isn't some straightforward conflict that Jax is going through. I said before, he's not doing this on purpose. This is just like a automatic response for him and he can't help it. And the reason for that is because Jax is dealing with grief, which I'm yet to experience in my own life, but one thing I do know about it is that everyone deals with it in different ways. And some people do irrational things or go to extremes. So even though I'm making all these points, I totally understand why he's acting like this. But then what comes after the initial stage of grief is we have to make the choice of doing what's right or wrong, not only for ourselves, but for other people. The harsh reality is that we need to get ourselves out of this situation, and some people can do that by making the right choice, but others just resort to getting worse. Bad behavior can be normal for like the first stages of grief, but after a certain period of time, it starts to be done under intention, which is the wrong choice. Like hurting other people or not wanting to make connections to anyone else ever. So all I can hope for Jax now is hopefully he can make the right choice towards the end of this series. Otherwise, he could just spiral and manifest into something worse than he already is.
I do not care about you or anyone else in this circus in the slightest. End of story. You are my playthings, and I get joy out of making you suffer. I'm the one who causes pain for fun. If I led you on, it was just to make this part hurt you more.
He doesn't mean any of this. He's telling the truth to a certain degree, but he's just overthinking it because he's trying so hard to cover up any form of vulnerability. He doesn't want to feel it. I feel like we've all had an episode like this at some point in our lives. At least once.
There's nothing more to me. So please, just stop looking.
I also agree with that. People don't always have to look for something deeper in an individual if they don't want it to be found. It's their own personal business, and sometimes it does get frustrating when someone really needs to see every side of you. It's still fine to keep some things to yourself, just not to this extent. But I don't blame Pomni because she's right. Jax reached out to her and tried being friends with her, so naturally she's gonna want to try and find something a little bit more deep and real with him, because that's what friends do.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Favorite Character Awards! Before anything starts, I'd like to thank the committee for examining our nominees and voting on our winners.
We love you, Kane!
Shut up.
Okay.
Why are the mannequin voices so good too? I've always loved all the mannequin voices in every episode. This was also a cool thing too, because after episode 5, everyone was going like, ooh, Goose, we're gonna see Ragatha abstract. Oh my god, Ragatha, she's totally not gonna be okay this episode. Oh my god. And Goose just completely subverted the whole thing on its head, and we've seen Jax become more vulnerable this episode, whereas Ragatha has healed up. This show is very good at subverting expectations.
God looks stupid. So,
why can I smell this place? I can
And the
smell
award
that bathroom
biggest
and that
Salem
theater.
elf.
Oh, I've never noticed that before. Oh, I didn't notice that when he came back out of the bathroom. He was doing his walk from the credits because he's trying to put his mask back on again. Yeah, he tries fucking harder than Ragatha.
And the award for Favorite Character goes to... Why, it's me, everyone! Oh, wait, I misread that. It's Ming.
See, that's just bad writing right there, because how is Ming supposed to be the main character when he's only shown up in this episode? Sloppy work, Goose. And there was the amazing Digital Circus episode 6! This one has always been a very difficult one for me to judge because I just don't quite know what to think of it. But I'll have to come back to that later because I've always struggled with trying to figure out where I would place this episode in terms of like my ranking. But I hope that now I've fully gotten across all of my thoughts on the different characters. I mentioned in episode 2 that I think Pomni's struggle was maybe that she was lonely in the real world, didn't really get time to make friends with people, and that's why in episode 1 and 2 she felt very disconnected, so when she then met Gummy Goo and had such a nice interaction with him, that meant so much to her, and then she kind of grew out of that whole phase when she learnt more about Kinga and finally said goodbye to Gummy Goo in episode 4. I don't relate to Zooble like at all because I think Zooble's problem has been, you know, the whole body dysmorphia thing, and I don't deal with that kind of a struggle. That's a little bit more specific, but I still really, really love Zooble as a character, and I love the way that all of their growth is kind of in the background and not so straightforward. Gangle is still the third most relatable character to me. I totally understand her struggle with feeling that her normal self is just not good enough and she has to change, she has to put on a mask to be better, to feel better, and in the end she comes out of that because she realizes that she has to choose to be happy, she has to choose to like herself, because that's something that I have related to for a long time, and I've also learned to come to accept that. Same with Ragatha. Ragatha trying way too hard to change who she is because she thinks that people don't want anything to do with her, when she just needs to realize that having relationships with other people, like Kinga said, is a complicated topic. You can't just immediately resort to that you're not good enough and therefore people don't want to connect with you. Just as long as you remain happy with yourself, you're always gonna have new connections with other people. And then Jax, if I ended up in the Digital Circus, I would probably start off like Pomni, where I would be freaking out at this new concept of my life. But then after that, I would probably go to how Jax is, where I realized that I can basically do whatever I want. I can be a cartoon character, and I don't have to worry about anything else. But then that would probably stop for a few more days because I would realize that I'm hurting other people over it. And that's the thing, I don't want to hurt other people. So I think that's like all of my final retrospectives of every character in the Digital Circus. Episode 7 is where the plot begins, and I'm excited to talk about it since we've gotten all the character bollocks out of the way. And I'll tell you, I have some opinions on episodes 7 and 8, so stick around if you want to see them.